Talking Shirts is presented in partnership with White Oak Cottage. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Hello and welcome to episode 85 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike from Hull Car Shirts and today I am here with a 2007 home shirt. Now I have covered the 2007 home shirt, but that was all the way back in episode 10. Wow, we've done some episodes since then. And that was Luke Dyer's 2007 home shirt, but today I am back with Tommy Gallagher's. We'll have a little word about Tommy in a little while, but I think we'll give the shirt the Talking Shirts treatment again because hopefully my skills have improved somewhat since episode 10. So as I've said, here we are with the 2007 home shirt. As you can see, it is an all red shirt, but there is quite a lot of blue and white detail into this shirt. So, completely red, we have got this very, very broad breasted band going through the middle of the shirt, which is in a navy blue. And a part of that is this wonderful, and I mean wonderful, white piping, because I feel like that white piping adds such a detailed element to the shirt that really does improve the aesthetics of it. So the piping goes above and below the band, and then we've also got this thicker piece of banding which goes sort of, well, you know, quite far from the from just under the armpit there, all the way down to the bottom, and it is also finished off with a white cuff that goes all the way around the bottom of the shirt there. The collars on these shirts were a turnover collar. Now on the replica, these was a bit floaty. You could wear it up, you could wear it down. Whereas on the player spec variants, this has been stitched all the way from front, all the way around the back, and all the way to the front on the other side as well. It's a navy collar with, again, more white piping. We've got a heat transferred Lloyd's TSB sponsor on either side there. As we meet in the collar here, this has got a V-neck, and then there is reinforced stitching on here as well. So that is an addition to the replicas. That isn't something that you would find on the replica shirt. I'll show you a close-up image, and I'll also show you a picture of the inside of it as well, so you can really get a good feel for the reinforced elements to this shirt. The front of the shirt has got the Hull Kingston Rovers club crest with Pride of East Hull embroidered into the shirt. The Carlotti branding has also been embroidered. There is a little bit of discoloration going on here. Not certain what that is. It could be blood, but it has got an element of discoloration to the middle of the Carlotti branding. And then we have got a heat applied transfer for Parasol on the right breast. And then we have also got Lloyd's TSB, their logo and wear mark, which has also been heat applied to the front of the shirt. There's such a lot going on, but for me, this might be one of my favourite modern era shirts. I absolutely love this shirt to pieces. Let's have a little look at the sleeve. So as you can see here, we have got a heat applied transfer for Parasol, and we have got an Engage Super League patch which has been heat applied. This is one of those felt material style patches, so it does feel really, really nice to touch there. There is a little bit of colour discoloration going on as well. As you can see here, the majority of the sleeve element is white, but we've got more of this blue piping, which just breaks up the white on the sleeve. And then as we look underneath, it's finished off with a red piece of fabric, which then kind of continues down the side as well, as it kind of bows out there really, really nicely. We'll have a quick look at the other sleeve, but it is exactly the same as that one, so there's not really a great deal to be said. You know, we have got a little bit more sort of damage to this Parasol branding on this side, and again a little bit of discoloration going on there to the sleeve patch, but we do see an element of consistency across both sleeves, with the two sponsors and the competition patch appear on either side being exactly the same across both sleeves. So we've had a little talk about the front of the shirt and onto the sleeves. We'll have a word about the back of the shirt and the player, Tommy Gallagher, in a moment. But before we do, here is a quick word from our sponsor.
White Oak Cottage is a 2-bedroom luxury holiday cottage set in the stunning Lincolnshire Wolds. It has 2 ensuite bedrooms, a hot tub, wood burner, Wi-Fi, electric vehicle charger, and is pet friendly. It is ideally situated in the Wolds, yet only 15 miles from the coast and 25 miles from the historic city of Lincoln. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Welcome back to episode 85 of Talking Shirts. Before the break, we was talking about the 2007 home shirt, and we are going to continue with the back and also a little word about Tommy Gallagher. So the back of the shirt, it continues with the theme that we saw across the front. We have got an all red back. We have got more of that piping and detailing that I told you that I absolutely loved about in the first half. That continues onto the reverse of the shirt. As we look at the back of the shirt, we can obviously see the back of the turnover collar, and we have got Hull KR, which has been embroidered into the collar. Absolutely brilliant. Love to see that. Maybe a slight little callback to the 90s where we used to have the Robins appearing across the back of a shirt. In this case, we have got just the word mark Hull KR, but still an absolutely wonderful touch. We have got Lloyd's TSB, which has been heat applied to the back of the shirt. Again, which was very similar in this era for sort of 07 and 08. Lloyd's TSB was very heavily, prominently featured across the shirt in many, many locations. As you can see with this 07 shirt, we have got the Lloyd's TSB branding quite high up. You'll have seen episodes where I talk about the 2008 shirts, and you'll see how that was dropped a bit too low. The fact that it was also embroidered made it very difficult for the names and the numbers to be applied consistently on the back of the shirt in the location that we would be used to seeing them. But in 2007, they got it absolutely bob on. As you can see here, we have got the name Gallagher and the number 13 applied to the back of the shirt. Now, because of the curvature of the name, it starts sort of quite low and then hits quite a high point to get that curvature, to get the full name in. Now, where you're looking at on the video, obviously I can just see what's in front of me. I can't see what you can currently see. But for me, I'm starting to wonder if you can actually see all of the letters, because this G's almost hiding under the armpit here. And I'm going to assume that the R on the other side is in a very similar situation. So I will put some pictures up where I've got the shirt laid out quite flat. So you'll hopefully be able to see the full curvature to that name Gallagher. And then obviously we have got the number 13, which has also been heat applied. There's a couple of sort of markings on here and a little bit of damage, which would imply that this has been worn. However, I've not been able to identify a game that it has been worn in, because the images that I have seen, the connection point between the name and the number are very different. That doesn't mean it's not worn, it just means that I've not been able to prove it. Tommy Gallagher was with the club for 4 years, from 2004 through to 2007. So Tommy was a very instrumental part of the promotion campaign in 2006, but also the build-up to that as well. And we obviously made the cup finals in the Championship, or League One, however you want to call it, for what it was called back then, in 2004, 5, and then again in 2006, obviously winning it in 2005. So Tommy was sort of an instrumental part of the squad during that period of time. He was rewarded with a starting number in the Super League. Obviously, he was our first ever allocated number 13, because Super League brought with it allocated squad numbers to Hull KR. So this was the first year that squads actually had an actual allocated number to a player, and it wasn't just the person starting loose forward would wear number 13. So that's a little bit of moment in history for Hull KR as well. Across those 4 seasons, Tommy would go on to make 56 appearances, scoring 20 tries. He started in a couple of different positions across the forward line, so he would sometimes start in the second row or also at loose forward if required. So, yeah, a little bit there about Tommy and about the shirt, and the fact that it's, as I've said, it's a really, really strong shirt design. If the Robins was to redo this shirt almost to the point of detail where everything was exactly the same, with a turnover collar, with that really broad band going across the front of the shirt, I think they could do a lot less than that. One day, you know what I mean? At the minute, what are we, 15, 16 years ago this was out. We're maybe, 5 years away from it, looking back on it and going, you know what, let's redo it. Never say never, and I will keep everything crossed that we do reproduce this shirt. And I think it needs to be done as close as possible. You think there's quite a lot of sponsors going on there. That's okay, because obviously in the modern era we are used to having that element of sponsors, so hopefully it is something that we will be able to see in the future. So that's been everything for episode 85. Please feel free to check out social media channels. There's always different shirt related content going on there, and obviously we've got a wonderful back catalogue now of episodes of Talking Shirts. I have actually planned out everything from episodes 86, which is obviously the next one, all the way through to episode 101, I believe. And I can promise you now, I have got some absolute belters to share with you guys as we head into the latter stages of 2023 and probably into the early stages of 2024 as well. So hopefully you keep checking back and watching the episodes, because honestly, some of the shirts that I've been able to add into my collection so far this year are out of this world. I'll leave you with that little Easter egg anyway. Check back in another couple of weeks. I'll be back with episode 86. Bye for now.